me, Tom Shalhoub. Let's welcome tonight's guests. She put herself through college running moonshine, co-host of The Bottom Line on Fox Business, Dagan McDowell. He rides a bike and he's from Philadelphia, yet somehow he's still alive. CEO of Electric Bike Technologies, Jason Kraft. She's an expert on politics, which, for this show, makes her unique. Fox News correspondent Jillian Turner. By night, she's a popular TV personality. By day, she's a professional dog walker. Fox News contributor Kat Timpf. Well, it's been a minute since we cleaned out the fridge, so before we get to some news stories, let's do this.
Greg's Leftovers.
Yeah, it's Leftovers, where I read some recent jokes we didn't use, and just like when Greg does it, it's my first time reading these. Here we go. During a recent jail interview, Ghislaine Maxwell claimed Jeffrey Epstein was indeed murdered in his cell. She says she knows this because he never really liked to hang by himself. Right? Jeff Bezos' girlfriend, Lauren Sanchez, revealed in an interview that in 1999 she was devastated after finding out that she didn't land a job as one of the co-hosts of The View. But TV industry experts say it's likely she didn't meet the show's minimum weight requirement. Wait a minute. I don't know if I would have okayed that one. President Biden is rolling out a renter's Bill of Rights. The press says he was deeply moved after hearing about a drug addict who lived with his parents in Delaware, yet still paid 50 grand a month in rent. Yeah. At least 20 dollar stores in Detroit have been robbed this month. Police have asked the public to keep an eye out for a criminal who lacks ambition. Come on. A Denver area public library is investigating traces of methamphetamine found in their restrooms. It's a sad thought to think of drugs in a library, although it does explain the success of their speed reading program. Because of rampant crime, Nike has chosen to permanently shut down its flagship store in downtown Seattle. And in a related story, Nike is also introducing a brand new slogan, "Just give up." Tech mogul named Brian Johnson, who's 45 years old, says he spends $2 million a year to have the body of an 18-year-old. But we found a picture, and it's not working. Yes, no? It's an AC/DC joke. Okay. Dig into it. Former President Barack Obama refused to say this week whether or not he's searching for classified documents in his home. Though I'm pretty sure it was Barack Obama who once said, if you like your classified documents, you can keep your classified documents. Yeah. According to NASA, 2022 was the 5th hottest year in history. In fact, it was so hot, 3 New York City cab drivers actually flirted with the idea of turning the air conditioning on. So, all right, it's a local joke. Disgraced cryptocurrency mogul Sam Bankman-Fried has reportedly enlisted the services of a 75-pound dog trained to attack on command using a secret code word. Let me guess, pudding? And finally, Hunter Biden's art dealer, Georges Berges, has claimed that Biden will be among the most consequential artists in this century because his art gives us hope. Yes, it really does. We hope he quits painting real soon. All right. All right. Okay, now to some news. Will labeling social media defective prove effective? Plaintiffs are expected to file a lawsuit next month against Meta, the parent company of Facebook and Instagram, for the alleged damages they've done to America's mental health. The case hinges on a legal theory that algorithms are defective products that encourage addictive behavior and are governed by existing product liability law. However, legal experts say the law traditionally applies to tangible stuff, like a car or a toaster, and in some cases, a presidency. The lawsuit argues social media giants knew their algorithms encouraged users to view mentally harmful posts that cause eating disorders, anxiety, and depression. Coincidentally, the same symptoms you get for working for Greg Gutfeld. So that's the deal. Jillian, do you believe this? Obviously, social media, it's got its problems, but can you sue?
Yes, you can sue because a whole slew of states are now suing various social media platforms. There's been this effort across the government to ban various platforms on government devices. I will also say for somebody who wants to be sensitive to the issues of the day, Tom, you had a lot of fat jokes just now.
I didn't.
I'm trying to decide how I feel about that.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's what you got to do whatever the writers tell you on this show, apparently.
Another word about this lawsuit, if I may. They are not just accusing these social media companies of encouraging addictive behavior. Remember, these platforms, by design, according to their own founders, are literally created in order to perpetuate addiction, right? That's all, the algorithms are all geared towards, instigating more clicks.
Yes.
That is addictive behavior.
They've kind of admitted it, right? Don't they do that? Jason, I think this Zuckerberg at Meta, he's bragged about it when he goes to advertisers. He says, we've cracked the code. People are addicted to our platforms, right?
Yeah, it's true. I don't think you should ban anything, though. Not any American company. Like, stop banning things. Why don't you ban parents who don't take care of their kids? Like, get some personal responsibility. It's not Facebook's fault you let your kid hang out on there all the time or something like that, right?
Yeah, what do you think about there's a lot of people trying to ban TikTok. They say, oh, that's China.
Well, that's why I said
single them out because of China?
That's why I said American. I use WeChat a lot. I do business in China, and I'm not, like, I always know.
What kind of business?
I always know they're watching. I make electric bikes.
No, I know, I'm joking.
Oh. Well, I
She
don't
was
know.
giving you a plug, Jason.
Everyone's like,
That was
is he the guy from the Gilmore Girls?
That was your moment. You missed it.
Thank you.
It's true. Kat,
Sorry.
do you think this could be a successful lawsuit?
No, look, I think it's dumb. So that would be my legal ruling.
It's dumb. It's dumb to sue.
Well, no, because I'm one of those people that doesn't think guns kill people, people kill people.
Yeah.
So I also think that, if social media makes you feel bad about yourself from looking at social media, it's the people that make you feel bad about yourself from looking at social media. Because everybody looks the best on social media. You never look like that. And I mean, I can totally admit that. Like, when I post a picture of myself on Instagram, by the time you look at it, I don't look like that anymore. Like, I look like Beth from Little Women, like right before the scarlet fever takes her, but except with less hair. So you just have to acknowledge that. I try to be transparent, say I wear a lot of hair extensions, I have a lot of makeup on. Like, this is me with bronzer, believe it or not. And you have to kind of acknowledge that because it can make you feel bad, but if you're so like, social media makes you feel bad, and it can be, like, wait till I tell you about people.
It's so true.
Yeah. Right.
Dagan, it's personal responsibility, right? I mean, people have to know at this point that these things aren't good for you, and you got to regulate. You got to self-regulate.
Well, the people are defective before they ever go on the social media. And I say that as a person with major defects. I am the Ford Pinto of the McDowell family. You smack me on the ass, I explode.
I'm not going to try.
Like the talk and the gram and the twit, they will make your crazy worse. Because you go online, and Kat's a testament to this, you go online for positive reinforcement and reassurance from people who are equally bat-wing bananas.
Yeah.
Like, oh, everybody loves my new Madonna look. My shaved eyebrows and my big puffed up souffle mouth and my hairline that starts somewhere back behind my ears. Everybody just thinks I'm awesome. But then again, in reverse, it can maybe take away some of the nuttiness when maybe everybody realizes that Madonna, with her big puffed up souffle mouth, can no longer sing because she can't move her mouth.
Yeah.
So maybe it has a positive effect on the real world.
But what if you're like 8, right? None of us, we're all really young on this show today.
Yeah,
But none of
really
us are
young.
young enough to have grown up on these apps, right?
Yeah,
Like, what if you start looking at this stuff when you're like a kid?
I know, it's very bad.
Imagine how crazy you're
You know
going to
what's
be
interesting?
when you're an adult.
Well, we need to burn their parents. No, well, not literally.
You mean expose them? Expose the parents. Well, it's interesting,
Sue
Gillian.
them. Sue the parents.
When what's the one that Snapchat? When Snapchat first came out, because the snaps disappeared, everyone said this is really nasty because people are going to use it to sext each other. But then they found out that actually Snapchat users had a healthier relationship because the things disappear. And on Instagram, a lot of, especially young girls, they get obsessed with the image, whether it gets likes or not, because it stays there. It's permanent.
Forever.
So the permanence was causing more insecurity. Does that make sense to you?
I mean, I can only imagine that it does. Like Dagan said, if you're like,
that's some made-up research you just coughed.
That's what we're
It kinda
into
makes
on this
sense.
show.
You just made that up.
You don't
I
believe
didn't
that?
mean burn like Salem witch trials. I meant, but who thinks that it's okay an 8-year-old is on social media?
Yeah, no, I don't think it's good.
I think a
You
lot
know,
of them are.
I'm doing the invasion of the body snatchers, point and screech at any parent who is letting their small children on social.
By the way, kids don't like Facebook. Like, Facebook's the most uncool thing for kids.
It's
I
like
have,
LinkedIn
I have 3
for
kids.
young
They're like, Facebook? What are you
Yeah, that's for
talking
old people,
about?
right?
Yeah, we don't have to worry about the kids on Facebook. Other stuff, maybe, but...
In fact, I think this thing could be, this is the kind of lawsuit that I think Democrats like, because they don't want us looking into the real thing that Facebook did was affect the last election, because they were taking down any posts that were favorable to Republicans and boosting anything that were favorable to Democrats. Am I right about that, audience? Yeah. I know where to go at the end of a segment.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.